Good morning, everyone, and hello, fellow travelers on spaceship Earth. It is I, Guy. That's becoming funnier and funny. I don't know why that's funny to me. Anyway, I'm going to try to finish this cell today because legitimately, we should probably put it on the table on Saturday and Sunday and see if Kiki's GG will sell. That's what I'm doing today. That's probably not right. How are we all doing today out there in the land of people, the people land? Heritage Auctions is selling cells. That's something I just never thought I would see the day for. And yet here we are. I'm going to try to mimic this edge as well while trying to do this. What we're really going to do here is we're going to take this concept, because we really kind of want these boards right here. Maybe kind of complicated and difficult to do. Trying to decide whether I want to sign in for the high resolution image. Ooh, we're not going to say that that's not cool. Okay, hang on, guys. I gotta confirm our email on this. Good morning, Peugeot. Good morning, Chuan. Gumball from Cartoon Network. I don't know if I have much of an opinion on Gumball. Why is my email taking so long? There we go. We need all this. Hang on. I'd have to look up Gumball from Cartoon Network to see if fine art. Oceanic art. I mean, there's like some things that I'm interested in oceanic art, illustration, and drawings. Definitely. If you'd ask me what kind of art I'm into, not into any of those. Could be with that though. Added a few things. All right. Can you save it? Oh, you can. Oh boy. So I'm looking up some things for a background on this. For those of you who are watching, what I'm doing is I'm going to make a cell for selling this weekend. This weekend I'm at Fort Collins Comic Con, and in my collections, let's do that now. So I'll just save it. Let's see if that's saved. What I'd like to do for this is to make a background that works on. So Peugeot, I actually will be at a convention this weekend, and then I work the biggest convention of the year for me next weekend. After that, you know what? I will do one more request for you. So after these 2 weekends, you and we can talk about doing a request, and I'll do one more for you. Okay? Will that be fair? Let's see. I don't care if you marked it or not. It should be on there. Yes. Let's see if that worked. Very detailed. Good. That's what we need. Because I need to figure out how they were doing some of this. Okay. Because we need this section right here of this background. So what we're going to try to do is mimic this section right here. But this is something that makes me money. So I've blown this up now to the size that I want to get it at. And we're going to just mimic this for our background here. So the first thing we're going to do is grab the darkest points there. One of the tricks that Ghibli does, Studio Ghibli or Studio Ghibli, whichever way you want to look at it, is one of the tricks that they'll do is that they don't use black. They use a dark brown, a very, very dark brown for their pins. So they're not actually using a black, they're using a brown. We're going to go through and we're going to I don't need that one. I need this one, right? I'm going to look at kind of the way that they did this, right? And what we'll do is we can set a guide along here, like so. We'll set guides out And these guides will be the boards underneath them. And you'll notice we're getting kind of different sizes depending on where we are. Now, somewhere I have a pen that likes to be cranky, like this one, right? This one's kind of cranky like that. What I really want is a tech pen. Like that one, right? Because this pen now has got some texture to it. So when I write with it, it's got a little bit of texture going for it. So if I follow this guide, I just spend some time concentrating on just the thickness here. I don't need to necessarily worry about it. Right? And what I've done is taken it so that it didn't write on here, did it? Damn it. Here are the stupid guides sent from this lane. Because now it's not going to work on a different layer. How do you turn off the guides? No. See if it'll do it. Even when I'm not on the guide layer. There we go. And that should give us the lines that are slightly broken there, just a little bit. You get the idea. Now, if we look at the picture up close in this section, you'll see each one of the boards has got a little bit of a thing between them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do this. See how they sometimes drew the edges of the board so that they don't quite fit. Not like they're all well fitted to this. So we're going to take this, we're going to delete this guide because we've already got too many things going on. Then we're going to come back over here. Pick this lighter color is a little bit better because I want to try to start with a lighter color and move to a darker color. Take this. Go like this. Right? And I'm going to take that out so that we don't have to worry about it anymore. And this is going to be just my wood grain, the floor on it in and of itself. Now the question really is, before I go too far, does this fit for the rest of our picture? Does it fit? They look like they're walking around on this particular thing, and it does. It looks fine. And that's important. The painting here, if you look at it, it looks like they've got kind of a cross stripe going this way. right? So it's kind of going like this. So after I make the boards going the right way and darken the boards in the correct color patch, we're going to go the other way. And for this one, I'm going to take my watercolor brushes. I'm going to take this round watercolor brush, and I'm just going to, with this, take a big sweep on it, like this. Right? A little bit darker. We're roughing up the image a little bit. Right. In fact, I'm going to even take this smudge tool. I'm going to use it as a painterly blender. I'm going to set it for 40 or maybe even larger than that. I'm just going to blend this way. That's giving it sort of looks like things are happening here, right? We're just kind of going along like so. Things are getting smeared really good. Right. Going back to mine, what I've got is I've got some ink washes that I put in. And I can put those in a little higher up here. Right. And this just highlights some of the things we're doing. There we go. So you see what we're doing here is we're just washing up the boards. So the boards, we're building up sort of from the bottom layer to the top layer. Hi there. We're building up from the bottom layer to the top layer. That's sort of an ongoing color palette. So we're just building it up to make it look rough. So it doesn't look like the exact thing that it's, it doesn't look exactly the same thing it should be. All right. Still moving a little higher. I'm going to take in here, and I'm actually going to take what I usually use, which is my skin brush. That's one of my favorite brushes, right? And we're just going to add along the top of each one of these, sort of this number, sort of thing. So it's kind of given just a highlight to the top of the boards, right? Right. We go back into our painterly blender. Right, and just adding in some of the color and doing sort of this thing like this. Just kind of putting an underground color on this. It won't matter a lot because and working it a little bit, making sure it's a little worked, just a little worked over here, and a little blended. You trust me when I say you don't want coffee. You think you want coffee, but you don't want coffee. All right. Now that we've done that, one of the things we're going to do now is get really into the dark part of this brown. And I'm going to get right in here on this part and just kind of go in here and rough up the edges of these boards. Okay? And this will give a little bit of realism to it. Not all boards fit together perfectly. They leave little gaps. Otherwise, where would our suit sprites come from, right? So, make sure that all these boards have just a little bit of, some kind of misfitting, or they don't fit perfectly. Whatever's the story, it makes it look a little bit better. So now the boards look like, they've been. Are you chewing on the plastic? You're such a weird animal. And I'm just going to add little things like just some pieces to these boards. All I'm doing here is just kind of putting in lines, this kind of thing. All right. Now what we're going to do is go the other direction. And we're going to put in a highlight on the back of this board. So especially right by this edge. If you look at what they were doing originally on the other piece, it's exactly what they were doing. Putting a highlight on the board right here. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to take that same effect and put a highlight on only this side. And it's going to be because we're going to paint in a shadow here in a minute. So I kind of want this to look raised right here. So now it looks like it's a raised pattern, right? I mean, it looks like it's raised. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go up one level. I'm going to go to all black, and I'm going to use my Big Soft. Big Soft is a huge soft color brush. What we're going to do here is make this get progressively darker over here, like this, until it gets into the shadow on this side. And we did it up one level so that I can work this a little bit better. I don't want it to be an actual I don't want it to actually impact. So like we're going to have like this dark area right here. And you also want to do a little bit of this right there. And that's called ambient occlusion. Ambient occlusion. And what that means is that it is the shadow that is formed when an object gets too close, or when two objects get close together. Light will hit the corner of something, and some of this light will bounce back to your eye, but some of this light just bounces back and forth until it dies in this corner. That makes corners have more of a shadow, right? So we call that ambient occlusion. And it's a little darker H1, H pass right through here, right? And then I'm going to take more like this, and kind of do a little bit more of a line here, just to define that. Right there to define that as well. Okay. Now we're going to take this and we're going to put it in multiply mode, and then we're going to bring it down, right, until it's about here. Let's actually do brightness. Right? And I can do the same thing with the eraser, and just follow this line right here. I'm going to come back through and just kind of gently erase this side right here and forward like so, and kind of roll back a little bit more. Now, you may be wondering, why is it that I'm doing this and not, say, using the gradient tool? And the major reason is that I really want this painter feel, like this. I want it to feel like it was painted. And if I were painting this, I wouldn't have that tool, would I? This is the only way I'd be able to make this feel like a painting. Right? So now we're looking more like it's a painting, right? Here we are, it looks more like a painting. We're going to take this guy, however, and despite the fact that I don't usually use computer tools for this, I will be using it for this. And that's because that's the wainscoting along the bottom of the picture, on the bottom of the page. And I want to make sure I've got this part. It must look like that, right? So we're going to take the next piece we're going to do is take out this piece, because that's not what it actually is, apparently. We're going to draw it higher. Because it needs to be here. Using the shift key makes it hold to a straight, like a 90 or a 45. Looking also at this page, it's going to be a vertical brace there as well. And you can see they even put in the wood knotting in this on that side, and that's pretty cool. we're probably going to put that in at some point too. But for right now, that actually is probably still too low, because I feel like it's not a wainscoting, it's up in that attic. We're actually going to bring you up to about there. And we're going to hit here. There we go. And that will allow us to hit here, like so. And this will be a brown below, sort of this wood color right here. I'll take that and we'll put it here and just do that. And so will this. And then we can just grab some of this blue and just put it in up here. And that's that wallpaper we've kind of got going on. I don't know what else is they call that. Constantly fighting over territory there. Okay. Now that that's done, we're going to try to match it up with the way that it was done here. So we're going to do this, take this color right there, that upper richness, and we're just going to take my skin brush, move in here. And it's called a skin brush because one of the artists that I follow a lot, Lop or whatever, has this as one of his, that's a light brown, and it's not coming across as a light brown, and it's really just not. It is a dull light brown though. He uses this brush primarily for his skin on his people, which gives a good painting feel. Feels like painting. And so I like using it because it feels more like a painting brush, but it's called a skin brush because he uses it for the skin of his paintings, so that it gives the skin a painterly feel. Which is what we're going to do here. With that. Question is, did they? No, it's just dark the other side. Okay, no problem. One of the things I'm noticing with the blue is little cracks and things like that. So let's take this guy and we'll drop him down. I'll still take this brush. With my pen. This. There we are. We're cracking it. We're cracking the wall a little bit here. Right? And then corners of this are darkened out and indicate that the wallpaper's maybe bubbling or peeling a little bit. One of the other things we didn't do here, and we should have, was just go back over this with a skin brush, right? Put a big skin brush on here, just kind of this, kind of do this. We're just roughing it up a little bit like so. I'm going to be careful now that I put in all that wonderful work over there. It's going to be kind of annoying to have to rip it out. And then I'm just going to go back over like this with my my smudge tool, which is making this a painterly smudge. Kind of just getting rid of some of these sort of dots and things like that, which is making this look more like a painting. Right. Another thing we can do is go the other direction, kind of go dark, and just go back in here, just kind of touch. We'll actually take about half of this, just come back through here and do this. Do that. And all it's doing is just giving texture to this, so that when we come back through with our larger brush on this one, we can just do this, and it's just adding a certain amount of texture to it. It's not important to the actual piece. Just don't want it to look flat, right? We want it to look like somebody went through here and painted this. I'd heard somebody once say there's no way digitally to get around painting and making it look like it's painted, because no matter what, a PC will always make it look regular in some way. Now the truth of the matter is, you probably now AI can be trained enough to probably do it, which is part of the fear we have against AI at this point, right? Because a lot of us are worried that we will lose our livelihoods to this, which is entirely true, or plausible anyway. But that person was trying to kind of say, and I completely agree, there's no shortcut to this. If you want it to look like it was done by your hand, you're going to have to do it by your hand. There's nothing you could do to get around it. And there are people who believe that they can get around stuff like this by cheating. Like that, and that won't work. It just simply won't work. You can't cheat your way out of this stuff. You're just gonna have to hand it. It's true of anything in life. People respect your time more than your skill in a lot of ways. I mean, it's not a one-to-one, but it is certainly close. People are more likely to respect the time you put into something than they are to respect what it is. Now, that's one of the unfortunate things about kind of the side problem with capitalism in a lot of ways, is that you don't have time. And so you've got to do this quickly. But you just don't have the time for it. And there's nothing we can do about it, right? But now if you look at this, it's actually starting to look a little close to what we've got going on here, right? Now, one of the things I'm noticing are the details, right? You look at the details in here. There's these details in this like sort of white pattern. They went through here with what looks like almost a sponge to get that effect. All right, so we're going to do something similar. Kind of do that. And go back through and just kind of muss it up a little. It just gives me sort of this vertical. And I am trying to intentionally sort of roll out. It's just giving me some kind of patterns in here, right? Like parts of it are just not white sticking to it, you know? It's not really doing its job and stuff like that. So we got that one going. I stayed kind of with my G pen here. Bits and letters here. All these errors will help make this look right. The next thing I'm noticing is that there's a certain amount of sort of the brown that's on the ground reflecting up onto it. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to use my big soft again. And go back up here into this upper area. I'm just going to put in a brown like so. And we're just going to muss it up real good like so. I'm going to go in here with this guy and just kind of put it in the stripes that we have before for everything else. Like this. And this is indicating a certain amount of either reflection from the floor, which is entirely plausible, or just dirt in general. Kiki's attic space was, storage. Didn't have anything up there but mice. So we'll take this now, we can take it into a multiply like that, and then just bring it down. And that's enough for it to kind of do that. And you'll see it, that's sort of what's going on here, right? So they've got kind of that going for it. Just kind of got this sort of effect going for it. And this guy's probably still just a little too much. So I'm going to come back here like so, just do this. There we go. But this will give me this color, which is an important color because we're going to want that here for this edge. And go back to my skin brush, come back up here. And what we've done is we've taken this darker color. Just going to go along here. And I got a guide. I don't need a guide, but I've got one. Okay. Okay. With that, I'm actually going to do the same thing along the bottom here. Because though I've got my ambient occlusion there, I want to make sure that I also have this sort of done like that. This is the bottom of that. Uh-oh. We have done a mistake because we didn't hit the space bar. So. Okay. Now that we've done that, we're putting off the last little bits of detail here, which are all this wood tiling and stuff, because it's going to be impressively complicated. So, not that bad, but it's going to be complicated enough that I'm kind of a little concerned about it. So, going in with a 100 brush, kind of do this number. So, just making a white area around here, or a lighter area around this knot that's about to come through. This, just smoothing this out. So as we come up onto this knot we're looking at right here, we're going to end up with dark areas, which will look kind of this. Right, so the knots in the wood would be kind of like that, and we'll do some lines like this to kind of indicate other granules in the wood here. So same thing going on here. We're going to be kind of doing this. And then this, we kind of want to rough it up down here at the bottom. No, we want to use the dark as sparingly as possible. It's super, super black. Now, looking at all of that, is not exactly what's going on here, but it's pretty close. Right? I'm going to do some bigger sweeps over here, kind of like this. Now what we're doing is we're adding what we call vignetting. Just adding in some darkness so that whenever the characters are put back on here, it looks a lot more like a scene. You see? And we have to make sure that the sprites have white in their eyes. And the next thing, since we have permanent creatures here in this area, it is animation technique wise. When I'm doing an animation, I'm going to be looking for what what's going to be happening on the background that will reflect. So what we'll do here is this: we'll take this, we'll go into sort of this dark blue, and we'll discuss the fact that Gigi is sitting on the ground here, right? And that's going to be the deal. Right. So there'll be a certain amount of ambient occlusion underneath Gigi anyway. But for this, I probably shouldn't be using that skin brush. I should be using my Big Soft. Right? So kind of coming around like so. And softening this up. And just make sure that they're connected to the ground, right? We don't need this to be big or impactful, just enough that it gives you the impression that they are stuck to the ground. We also have to remember that these will be placed as cells. So we don't want that. We want it to be that color, except gray. So Gigi and the Soot Sprites, which sounds like a band name. We're gonna, next up is Gigi and the Soot Sprites. And that makes it look like it's here. I mean, ish. It's not perfect, but it is very, very close to the colors and stuff like that. I do feel like, though, coming back here, I kind of want to do a little more these kind of darkish lines. And then I think I actually do want to put in down here really low here, because it didn't, oh man, I really am having a problem. There we go. It really doesn't look. This is the bottom of wood here. So I really want to make it look like that. So we'll go ahead and pull GG out, and this is sprites. And the radio. Because this should be where you feel like you're at the bottom of the wood right here on this area. There we go. And if you look at it from this point of view, it just doesn't look that weird or whatever. And we'll take the blend and get onto the shadow layer, which is one layer up from here. That's the shadow layer where, nope, that's the line. Where's that shadow layer? Is it here? It's not here. That's that. Where'd that shadow layer go? Oh, right here. That's the shadow layer. Okay, we'll take the shadow layer. And because this will be sitting by itself, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that the shadows don't look too weird. You know what I mean? Like they should look relatively nominal here. So that whenever we have this outside of, when we do these as cells, this background is going to be on a separate layer altogether. All right. Now putting our characters back in, so it's sprites, GG, and the radio. That looks like a fine piece. Right? I mean, this piece looks just fine. A little bit more darker, a little bit more. And see, what you do here is when you do this shadow, it connects it to the entire object here. It connects everything together, makes everything fit, right? So no longer looks like say this battery no longer looks like it's just floating. It looks like it's connected to the ground. That's what ambient occlusion does for us. looking at this is where we are, right? I feel like I could probably come back through and kind of do some little bits here and there to the background just to make it a little bit better. But I feel like we're about 90% done here. So I'm gonna kind of this thing here is kind of a small amount of just gray and a mixed color in here in this palette just to kind of warm it up a little bit and kind of rough up the paper, right? Because I mean, it's got some just, I don't know, anything could have happened. Maybe this is just dirt. You know, come back in with my smudge tool because I want this to be painterly. So I'm smudging painterly like this. There we go. You can kind of see where we were going on this one, right? There. Right? And we're done. Just need to throw a background in here. We're good. Background looks fine. Foreground looks fine. We got Gigi sitting here with soot sprites trying to offer him batteries for the radio. The radio is plausibly, you know what? The radio is missing one thing though. The radio is missing its numbers. Because the radio had numbers. Look at what Kiki's radio looks like in the actual show. I don't really show it very clearly. I'm hoping to get kind of a bigger view of it. It's dangling from her broom in a couple of scenes. And though interesting, that's one of those things where there's this great shot of her lying on the grass with the radio by her head. Ooh, my 7's backwards. Good morning. See you later, Chuan. Hey, Peugeot. Oh, I've got a backlog on the other screen. That's part of our problem. You're like, why are you saying hello to me again? There we go. That 6 is way too big. I'm going to go back and redo this 6. What I'll do today is I'll go get these guys run off. This one, the kitten bus. And then we'll have those ready for tonight or this weekend when we go to the con. Today is Thursday, isn't it? Which means that if I'm going to reorder, which I need to, sleeves for the my cells. I'm gonna Oh, hey. That's the ones. Dem's the ones. going ahead. Hey, you. What's up? What's up? Man, screeches. It's kind of close. It's kind of really close. What's today? What is on today's list? Does anybody know? Yeah, I've got calls to make after the stream is over in 30 minutes. Then I have a compliance meeting tonight. Who wants to go to a compliance meeting? I don't want to go to a compliance meeting. I hate compliance. I'm not good at compliance. I'm bad at complying. Right? You're bad at complying too. Need to sign this. So first is into administration, get my Honko stamps. These are the stamps that I use all the time for indicating my work, right? So then I'll take this, copy it. I'll bring it over to the GG layer, I think. Either that, the GG layer. We're going to put it on the GG layer. And just put it right here. And we'll just say multiply on it. Whoop, disappear. Right? Just put it right there. Just grab some of this red. It's already here. Oh, we shouldn't put it in multiply before you do that. Grab some of this red that's right there. Markedly different. Not color. You can see that. We'll grab this skin brush again. I'll put it really small. We want to remember that it's Reiwa. .05. Reiwa. Hey, Paimo. I'm working on a commission piece. Well, maybe not a commission piece necessarily. I'm working on a piece that I'll be using for sales. I'll be selling this at a convention. So this is going to ultimately be a sell. And so it's Gigi and Soot Sprites from Kiki's Delivery Service. And I have a technique now that I work with that ends up making cells, like the old animation cells. And I've been using those to sell at conventions. And I'm just finishing this piece off. It is just about ready to rock and roll. I think I'm not going to be able to do anything until I kill the white in this any which way you put it. And that's because no matter what, I don't think I can get it to stop being. I take the background out, no matter which way you look at it, it's going to end up still being white. That's what I'm worried about. So what I'm going to do is at least just make this somewhat easy for me. Here we go. And I can put these two layers together like so. And then I want to do the same thing with the radio. The radio needs to be put together, so I'm going to do that as well. What I probably should do though is, in case I put one of the layers could be the radio and a third layer back. So what I probably should do is stop for a minute and go out here real quick and just put in the rest of this fob and the strap. So I'm going to do that real quick. I'm going to switch to my G pin. The straps come along like so. Back under. Yeah. And that's what we're going to end up with out here. I need to get you off of that into a rough eraser. There we go. And then I'll fill it with the red. So. And then I'll take you. And just, no, that's eraser. And do the same thing here. If you imagine where the light's going to come from, it's going to come from behind there somehow. So here's where we want this to be red. We'll take that and make that all red, and then that all red. And then we'll just go in and touch it up real quick, because we've already done the flattening of this. Since we've already flattened it, I want to be very careful about how I operate here, because it's already sort of established what its world is. Straightening it out a little. The thing that makes Studio Ghibli pictures so wonderful is they harken back to a simpler time. The funny part is that we all say, that was a simpler time, it was a simpler age, or whatever. It's always yesterday was a simpler age. I think what really happens is we become complex. As we grow older, we have to adult more. And so I think what happens is that we all long for yesterday. To me, haha, you caught me. How you doing, Midori? Everybody always says they want to go back to, to a simpler age when things were easier. And the truth is that The truth is, things aren't always easier yesterday. We just think it is, you know? Oof, this is really rough now looking at it this way. While we're here, why don't we fix some of these things? While we're here, why don't we fix some of these things? We're just going in here, clean this up, make it look a little bit nicer. We don't have to do this because the truth is that normal cells are messier than we think they are. A lot messier than we think they are. What you working on, Midori? Reworking a character? Ugh, sounds brutal. Okay, that seems a lot better. We'll add in Chi-Chi. We'll add in the soot sprites. And oh, that's the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna flatten out that background. There we go. Yeah, I should go ahead and bring the paper in too. There we go. Now we can kill all the blue lines because we don't need those anymore. And now we're left with, and of course, any guides coming in from other sources. So all we're left with is 4 layers. And U, which is a mess. So what we're going to do with this guy is, and I really should have done these on a separate layer already so that they were whatever. Because what we really want to do is take layer, no. See, I was just in Photoshop, so my brain is completely confused on where things are. Tonal correction. And we'll go here and take the saturation. Nothing in the processing area. Yeah, you. Finally get the right thing. Tonal correction. You. We're going to take the saturation all the way out. And drop the luminosity like so. And then I'm going to take levels. And what we're going to try to do is get kind of this even level on it. Where there's no white really there on the outside. There we go. So you see what I'm doing here? I'm taking the levels and I'm just making sure that there's no white anywhere around that. I can open up some of it a little bit to give just a little bit of texture, but other than that, that's what I'm after here. And I'll just keep crunching the whites until they're no longer there. Okay. Then we'll take this and go back to the tonal correction, brightness and contrast. And see, bringing the brightness back up just does nothing more than just make it the wrong thing for me. It ain't working like I want it to. A Discord for us? There is. You like to have a link to it? We have just the, right now, all I've got on there is just a place to share your art. But at some point, we'll add other things to it. Or Discord will crash, one of the two. Things could. Temps plummet. What does temps plummet mean? I mean, like 28's great, but air quality sucks. I don't know what temps plummet means, but let's get ourselves onto our server. Give you a duck pond invite. I would love to read it. here is your invite. Better arrive here tomorrow, boy. Hey, I can see you out on Discord. Look at you being on Discord. I will wave hi to you the way I wave hi to people. Oh, I've got a bot. How do I get it? What does that mean? Not understanding now. Okay. The bot said, nice. I didn't know what that means. Can I control the bot? Does anybody know? It's normal. Oh, I see what's happening. The Restream bot's bouncing it back. Control the Restream bot? Well, I guess I can't. That's fine. Righty. I think we are done with this guy. So let's break him into pieces so that we can make sure we have the correct number of... Yes, I know. You're Midori on both sides. I get it. I was just wondering whether the Restream... So on Discord, we have the Restream bot bouncing back everything that comes through Restream to my Discord channel. So if you want to read something that was said like 3 or 4 days ago, we can do that. What I might do... Hey, John... what I might do is set up a Discord where it just has a... I separate these out. So now I've taken a look at Jackson's entire server or Discord server, and I'm kind of realizing, it's got like various different channels and things like that. And so I'm thinking what I might do is put the Restream bot in its own little channel. But first, let's fix this so that we are ready to go. How you doing, John? What you working on today? So the first thing we will do is take this and we'll save it as... Oh, let's find cells. Cells. Okay. Fuji and the Soot Sprites. DK. Save this as L1. L2. This one, save as L3. And then we will do this, which is for the cheaper version, because people will want ones that are cheaper. LX. Megas XLR is your fair. Okay, now that we've fixed this and Gigi is working just fine and looks kind of cute and has a cute little thing going for it and it's all working well, I'm going to talk about adding channels because I've never done channels before. Add a channel. Why would a forum be different than... Oh, they're allowing conversations to coexist without people talking over each other. Oh, hey, that's probably more useful, yeah? So if I were to make a forum channel out of this and call it Share Your Art, channel name, that doesn't fit Quack though, does it? I mean, like, it is Share Your Art, but it also probably is not. We should call it Cattails. Art share. Because like everything has a name like Duck Pond or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I'm making Duck Pond, and that would be. I mean, the Duck Pond is like the general talk it all sort of thing. Okay. Set recommended position. Create post guidelines. Okay. Be kind. Require people to select tags when posting. Oh, hey, that's kind of cool. I'll add that. And then show and tell. We'll do that. Right? That sounds good. think we should put it in slow mode for like posting. Right? I love seeing things come to life. I probably should add a channel specifically for Bellatrix Rising. Just because it's my channel, and I'll try if I want to. Try if I want to. I want to. All right. Permissions at everyone. Oh yeah, no. Manage permissions. Oh no. Everybody can view it, but you don't want to mess with it. That's up. Create invite, sure. Create posts. Send messages in posts. Allow enabled links. Attach files, reactions. External emoji, sure. Why the heck not? External stickers. Mention at everyone at here. And all rules. No, don't do that. I'd hate you forever if you did that. Manage messages. No. Read post history. Oh, yeah, no. Text to speech messages. Oh, sure, I don't think that's actually a problem. Application commands. That shouldn't be a problem. Voice messages. Use activities. Yeah, there we go. Save changes. So permissions are set. Integrations. I have no idea what a webhook is. Oh well. It's here. Okay. Onto another forum. Unity Central. Matrix. There we go. See? Now I'm starting to do all this stuff because like there's things we can do here and stuff. Pinned link for my comments. Oh, damn, that's a good one. Good one. Good thinking. Good thinking. So over here, I've got, I don't know what I'm doing over here. What am I doing? I have no idea what I'm doing. All of these things are so confusing. Okay, I actually am moving this up here because it's hard to read down there. It's not hard to read. I'm too close, too far, too close, too far. So I'll make sure that this is up here so I can read it when it gets up there. Or not, because that crashes as soon as I do that. That's right. I forgot that. So can I add a pinned link? Discussion. Only Bellatrix Rising discussions. Well, this view is probably fine, I would guess. Okay, that works. Some of that's good. Permissions. Cannot mention everybody. Okay, the permissions are set, in theory. See permission. Oh, yeah. That works. I wonder if I'm going to regret this. Make the first post. Oh, good. It does let me add a picture. Always a plus. You never know. Let's see. Okay, I'm looking for pictures now to finish this. And then I think I put it in completes. Maybe. Act 1, momentary ghosts. I don't feel like this is the right one. Because I've got an overview picture that I like using for this. Maybe it's in illustrations. There's like a top-down picture I use for momentary ghosts when it's or for everything, just so that I don't have to worry about it. Oh, there it is. Yay! Excellent. If I ever do that, that would be really cool. I have pondered doing that. I pondered the idea of doing an animated version of it, and that might be kind of cool. Especially since I use 3D models for all the things that are effectively hard, like ships and backgrounds and vehicles and things like that. The only thing that would be hand drawn would be soft things like people. Even though I would call Chakrana probably not very soft, but you get the idea. Racing. There we are. You can find this here. Do you want to purchase a physical copy? Send no. include your address and which issues you want, and browse per issue if informational. Well, so once I do this, how do I make it? Pin message. Oh yeah. There we go. At the top of Unity Central. Right. There we go. Create tags. I thought I created tags. Oh, there's no tags in this one. That's why. Oh, I don't doubt it. I'm sure you actually have awesome Illustrator skills. Maybe, sadly, better than mine. But, you know, that's a thing. All righty. Okay, we are over the line a little bit here. So we are pretty much done for the day. I have fixed my fixed up that particular piece. It's ready to go. I'm gonna move this down here back into control land. Okay, everything's set up, and now I'm hungry and I want to go to lunch. So I'm going to go to lunch. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I will be back on again tonight at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock Mountain Time, 9 p.m. And I might be a little late. No, I won't be because it's drawing club night. So I should be actually just fine. So I'll be back at 9 p.m. along with, plausibly, I might have Jackson with me. We'll see. And if all works well, I'll be over there at my workstation painting cells tomorrow night. And that's what I'm hoping for. Hoping for it. So we're going to go see if I can get these guys printed out. And then if so, it'll be awesome. And life will be good. So there we go. That's us for the day. That's our morning show. And you'll be off of work in 8 hours. I think that's why you're coming in at the very end of our night show. Because you might be, well, no, because that's 12 hours from now. So you should actually be able to do that. Our night show, well, not 12 hours, because 9 p.m. Oh, hey, 1776 aliens. I added a whole bunch of channels over on the Discord server. So go check out the different channels. I may actually just put the transcript channel and make a channel that transcripts the shows so you can go back and look at all the transcripts. But because the Restream bot's going in there and doing that. And I don't know if I want it necessarily in the duck pond. That seems like that's just making the duck pond all messy. Either way, either way, I have finished my GG picture, which I'm going to turn into a cell today. So that'll be what the next thing I do. So, okay, guys. Well, I am OOH. I'm out of here. And we will see you tonight. And remember to keep your eyes on the stars. Bye-bye.